Welcome to another 10-minute review, guys. So today we have a really fun shot by JustAdam. That is his handle on Discord. Really cool handle as well. And we have that little bunny from Zootopia, and he did a really good job, I have to say. And we're gonna review it here live, and I'm gonna tell you guys what I think and what are some of the things that I think might be better for the shot, might make it more entertaining. So let's go in, let's jump in, let's do it. First and foremost, let me actually put my 10-minute timer. Now I have it on my iPad, which is great, so 10 minutes and counting. All right, so here's the shot. Let's play it a couple of times, and then we'll go into reviewing it. So yeah, a lot of fun. So cool. So Adam, I think you did a really cool job. The best thing about this shot is the run. The way you have the run set up works really well. I really like how playful she looks, and it reminds me a lot of the runs of the movie. And the best thing of the run is this jump that she actually gives, and how the weight shift happens when she actually goes into the jump and she goes off her back foot. She looks very much like a rabbit, which is really cool. Now, I like also this bit, but I think it's slightly weaker when she actually is kind of like scrambling her feet to get into this position and then goes in. I like it, looks really nice, but I think you could do more with it. So first and foremost, I think because she runs so fast, right, in such a short period of time, because she's a rabbit, having this side view is spot on, really cool. And then when you actually cut into this is also spot on, is really nice. But I think that before you cut and you go into this position, this like extra shot that she's actually jumping, I think that you should actually get like that jump to look here in this camera, to be in this camera, so she's actually on this passing position. I feel like that's like maybe a missing frame from here, so maybe do the cut while she's actually doing this move. I think you might actually work out better. Try it out. I'm not sure, but I really think that it might work out better as she's doing this move. Then you cut, and then most importantly, when you actually go and grab it, at the moment the whole grab is kind of like almost identical. It feels very much like she hits the hands on the ledge pretty much at the same time, and it feels a little bit like twinning, right? Like when things move at the same time. So try and actually get that weight shift to be a bit more like uneven, right? Maybe when she's actually going in right here, right, instead of actually getting her to hit at the same time and the hips kind of translating upwards in a linear fashion, try and actually get her to be a little bit more uneven, right? So almost like she kind of like, because she's scrambling with her feet, when she jumps, as she's jumping, instead of just going like this, try and actually get her to kind of like go in favor one of the sides. That way, while she's actually hitting that position, right, let's say that this bar here is a ledge, while she's hitting that position, because she's favoring one of the sides, she will then go right, and that will feel a bit better. At the moment it feels kind of like even as you go. Plus, another thing that you can do, at the moment she's like spot on, like sideways, you can use her profile more, right? Not only do the hips and the shoulders move slightly offset, but also you can show a little bit more of the back, right? So go like this, so you show a little bit more of the back, the profile, and then maybe when she actually grabs, you can see more of her face, and then she lines up, right? So it allows you to kind of get more of a three-dimensional feeling to the character. And then here, when she jumps over or over here, is nice, but I feel like the fall, maybe the way she's actually falling, I don't know, it feels like it's missing something. And I think the something is the acting, because her face is not really signifying what her body has just done. I think being a rabbit, and given the fact that she has run and she has climbed this big wall, it kind of almost feels like she has done this before and it should be easy. So if she slides off this ledge by mistake, then her face should be surprised, almost like I've done this before many times. And oh, what happened, right? And normally when people are surprised, you have a tendency to go from very neutral face to then go and then go back to neutral, right? So we're getting that kind of feeling will help you a ton to get that feeling of like I messed up, because at the moment it feels very much like she's doing that, but she's kind of bored doing it, right? Because her eyelids are low. So get that surprise effect, right, going in, and then as she's going up like this, I think this is nice, but watch out for the intersection of her face against the geometry, right? And I kind of feel like because she can bounce so much, here in the end, you can add an extra bounce to it. So almost like this, she goes like this, she goes up, she slides, just goes, okay. And then when she grabs it, almost like we have a tendency to make up for our fails. So if you fail, people have a tendency to either stay down and make a big kerfuffle about it, or stand up as fast as they can, right? So like imagine if she actually kind of like fails, and then as soon as she goes up, she kind of goes, nothing happened, right? So I think that kind of feeling will probably be better than just like having a step and then coming down and just staying still. So I think that's a missed opportunity there. So maybe try and actually get that in. So she actually goes like this, and then when she goes like this, she has a little bit of a bounce right there that she goes, and then she goes, okay, all is well, and then she slowly goes into idle, right? Also, like the ears are incredibly expressive in Zootopia, if I'm not mistaken. She used to actually use her ears to signify like feelings. So maybe on that surprise effect, if you're gonna add it here, maybe get those ears to prickle up when she goes, and then go back down as she goes up again, right? So that will probably be best. This foot here, specifically this foot, I think it's taking too long to come down as well as you are putting the foot down. I think it's taking slightly too long, and it loses a little bit of the weight. And then when she settles, and settles are incredibly important, try to make it a little bit more interesting. At the moment, feels very linear, feels very much like she hits a pose and then she just settles. Normally, in order to break down that settle so it looks a little bit more interesting, try to get a little bit more of a swinging of the arms as you go through. So even as I'm trying to do it and I'm trying to settle and as still of a way as possible, if I do that, my arms still swing even though I'm trying to be still, right? So imagine if you just like doing this stuff, your arms 100% swing and your hips have a tendency to sway ever so slightly from side to side as you actually grind to a halt, right? So try and do that. And also you can keep in mind that little silhouette. So maybe when she actually finishes like this, she has more of a back going in, and then she kind of turns a little bit, shows a little bit of the forward, and then goes back into settle, right? So it doesn't look so much like she is sideways all the time. It feels very much like you are almost like forcing her to be sideways on the side cam all the time, in profile all the time. And breaking that kind of feeling will help you a lot, right? And then last but not least, I think we'll play with the hands, right? Like if she actually goes like this, then maybe she has the hands like this, and then she relaxes into the hands. She opens a little bit the hands and then goes back into relaxed. So anything that the body does, sways or like settles, having a little bit of a finger motion, having a little bit of the spine kind of like swaying back and forth helps you quite a lot to make sure that the saddle is not so stiff. And then the ears as well, they feel very linear as they go up like this. They feel very, very linear. So try to kind of like break down those ears so they can just feel a little bit better when it comes to kind of like that overlapping action, because they look like a lot of fun to animate. And that's about it. I think that's most of the stuff, Adam. I think you did a really cool job. I think that actually kind of covers most of it. Looks really nice. Maybe try and actually add a little bit more live to her tail, right? Look at the movies for sure, for reference. I'm pretty sure you've done, but if you actually down here, maybe the tail is actually over here. And then as you go up, the tail starts to kind of come up. But overall, Adam, you did a really good job. Really, really cool stuff. Really like what you've done. And keep going. Show us the updates as you are doing them in the Discord server, just like you did on this piece. And that's all I had for you guys. If you also want your animations to be reviewed, or a chance to actually get your animation reviewed here in this channel, then join my Discord server, link down below, and make sure that you actually submit your animations to the feedback channel, ask questions. We're always there to help you out, not only myself, but other experienced animators as well. We have a lot of fun, talk a lot of stuff, and there's a lot of resources for you when it comes to rigs, animations, books as well, that you can actually go in and just find everything in one place. So join us, have some fun. Also, before I go, thanks a lot to my Patreons for supporting me every single month. Check out my Patreon if you haven't already. And until next week, stay well, stay safe. Peace.